Hi, I'm Cassie from Me Time, and this is a mini tutorial for the American Farmhouse from the Collectible Christmas Holiday Village. The American Farmhouse is made exactly the same as all of the other houses. If you're looking for a little more information on how to construct the houses, we want to refer you to our full tutorial on the village church. For this house, however, the thing that's different is this really cool roof. It's a double-peaked roof, and I'm so excited to stitch it with you today. For the purposes of this tutorial, I have red thread in my embroidery machine, just so that you can see my stitch lines on my stabilizer. But at home, feel free to use your own neutral colored thread. I've already hooped my light mesh cutaway stabilizer, so we're going to put it in the machine and stitch the placement line. Okay, now that we've stitched that placement line, as you can see here in red, we're going to place our shapeform interfacing over that placement line and make sure that it's completely covering it. And then we're going to tape it in place. We tape this in place so that it doesn't move or shift in our embroidery machine. Then we can return it to the machine to stitch the tack down line and the scoring guides. This is machine step number 2. Okay, what we just stitched was that tack down line and the scoring guides. And what you'll notice is a little bit different on this house than some of the others is I have 3 scoring guide lines that we're going to cut. But first, we're going to use our scissors and we're going to trim the shapeform around the stitch line without clipping any of the stitches. Now that we have trimmed all of our shape form, it is time to cut the scoring guides. We're going to do that with a ruler and a rotary cutter, and I'm going to stand because I cut it a little bit better when I stand. So we're going to line everything up, and we're going to cut all the way through the shape form and the stabilizer. We're going to do this for all 3 of the scoring guides. And they're here to help us make really good peaks on our roof so that they look really wonderful. Then after we're done cutting those, we're going to return this to the machine and stitch our placement line. Okay, now that we've stitched the placement line, we're going to take our roof fabric and we're going to place it completely covering that placement line on all sides. And then we're going to tape it securely in place. This is so that it doesn't move on us or bunch while we're stitching. I like to smooth it nice and flat with my hand and then tape it in place. And I'm going to do the left and right sides as well. This way it has something to keep it in place on all sides. And then after we have that all taped down, we're going to return it to the machine and stitch the tack down line. At this point, I already have red thread in, which is perfect because it's the color I need to stitch this roof. This is machine step 4. Machine step 5 is stitching the fold lines. For machine step 6, we're going to change our thread to our yellow color and stitch those beautiful decorative lights. All right, let's check out all these amazing lights. They look incredible, and I'm so excited to have them on my roof. The next step is one of my favorite. We're going to take the 2 prepared fabric pieces that are the roof eaves. We're going to put the roof eaves fabric right on top of each other, making sure that that 1/2 inch that we folded and ironed down is on top of the other. And then we're going to tape it exactly as shown in our instructions, which means we're going to put a piece of tape right here on the top and then another one here on the bottom. And then we're going to take tape and put it across that folded seam so that we don't catch it with our presser foot on both sides. And then since this is a nice long piece, I'm going to also put a piece of tape on the left and right edges so that it stays in place. Then we're going to return it to the machine and stitch that final outline stitch with our red thread. All right, now that we have stitched that final outline stitch, we're going to remove the tape, and then we can take our project out of the hoop. Now we're going to take it out of the hoop. And we're going to take our scissors, and just like all the other roofs, we're going to trim around it, leaving a 1/4 inch, and being careful not to cut any of the stitch lines. So again, cut this however you feel most comfortable. I am using scissors today, but you are welcome to use a rotary cutter, and make sure that you measure the 1/4 inch perfectly. Now that we have that trimmed, we're going to take our scissors and we're going to trim off the corners and about 1 inch on either side so that we can have a nice crisp corner. We're going to do that around all 4 sides so that we can make sure all of our corners look really nice and pretty. Now we're going to turn the roof. We're going to place 2 fingers in the bottom eave and our thumbs on either side. We're going to press and flip it over. I just love that when that happens. And then we're going to do that on the other side. Fingers in, thumbs on the corner, and flip and pop. Yay, so fun. All right, now we're going to take our point turner and we're going to go in and gently massage the fabric so that we can get our nice points and that we can get these corners looking crisp and beautiful. There we go. And after this, we're going to pull our eaves nice and taut, starch it, and make sure that it's ready to go on our house. We're going to take this eave and we're going to pull it nice and taut so that it is going to give us a nice crisp edge, and we're going to iron toward the center from the side. We're going to just do this first eave and then we'll do the second one. Once we have that ironed pretty well, we're going to take it, the next eave, and pull it nice and taut and iron again from the side towards the center. This is just going to help these eaves be nice and flat and lay really pretty for our house. And we can go up and down however many times we need until the roof is dry. All right, so this one has 3 different folds. We got to make sure we iron them the correct way so that it will make the shape that we need for our roof, which is basically a letter M. So we're going to take this one side, and this one is going to be an upward peak. So we're going to bend our roof and we're going to press it so that it starts making that shape for us. We're going to do both sides, so flip it over in between so that we have that shape starting to form. Now this middle one is going to be in a valley. So we're going to make sure that we fold it this direction. So we're going to press it this way so that it can create the right shape for our roof so that we have that valley. And then the next side is going to be a peak like the first side. So we're going to fold it in half, making sure that stitch line is centered. And then we're going to press that. And this is going to make our M shape for our roof. So before we're even putting it on, it already is trying to form this shape. Okay, so we're going to take our house that we've already prepared. We have the front and back stitched, and we're going to take our glue and we're going to go right along the top, just as we normally do, up one peak and then down the other into the valley, and then up the next peak. And then down. We're going to do the sides as well. And then we're going to repeat that process on this back, up and down the peaks so that we have plenty of glue to hold this roof in place. Now this roof, we're going to hold just a little bit differently than all the others because it's an M shape and it has both peaks and valleys in it. So we're going to take it and we're going to line it up, making sure that that first eave, the one on top, is in the front, and we're going to kind of scrunch it together. And we're going to put the valley in first and make sure it's lined up in the front and the back where we want it. Then we're going to press the 2 points down and we're going to hold it kind of with both hands and make sure that it stays nice and secure. At this point, if you do want to let go, you would have to put tape on both ends and both sides, front and back, so that it holds it in the correct shape. So the biggest trick for this roof is to make sure that you iron it in the correct shape, and then it's already going to do most of the work for you. Then make sure you just hold it well in place until it dries. Thank you so much for joining me today for this mini tutorial about the American Farmhouse. I hope that it helps you understand how to do this roof and that you enjoy your experience. Please make sure to like and subscribe and follow us for more content, and enjoy some well-deserved me time.